Ladies and gentlemen, today's stream is going to be bloody fun. And you know why today's stream is going to be bloody fun? Today's stream is going to be bloody fun for one key reason. That key reason being that I woke up this morning, for some reason, looking like I had smoked about 1 billion blunts. Like, I looked like the single biggest stoner you could possibly imagine. My head was in spin. My eyes were as red as the planet Mars. And I was like, I need to stream for about, 6.5 hours today, probably. I was going to say the following number to 6, but you'd all blow up if I did. How am I going to get away with this? And then I realized something intrinsic about myself and my own streams. And I was like, Sonnies. So I'm going to have these on my noggin for like the entire time today. And what's good about that is the following. This is like really bad for me and like my career. But for some reason, when I have these on my face, I feel less accountability, which is terrible. Like the things that I say still matter. Like I'm still going to be held responsible for them. And yet I'm like, nah, I look different, innit? I'm playing a character, so it doesn't matter. So, yeah, anyway, we're about to have 6 hours of this kind of energy. If you're down, get on board, ladies and gentlemen. How are you all going? Yeah, welcome back. Redeem the speed dealer, Sonnies. Go ahead, it won't matter. I ain't taking them off. I ain't taking them off. So, yeah. But, look, happy to have you all here for this, your Saturday footy. Obviously, we've got 3 games today, 3 games tomorrow. It's a hell of a weekend of rugby league football. Origin players are back. What more could you possibly want? This is special. This is special times. Your career's almost over anyways. I mean, this we know. This we know. I've been, close to being cancelled on a number of occasions. It's nothing new, is it? It's nothing new. Anyway, let's get into the team, shall we? Because we only have a few minutes before we get ourselves kicked off. So, Tigers versus Dolphins is our first game of today. Looking at the backs, there is a change. No Isaiah Katoa, so Bradley Schneider comes in to start at halfback, the player who I accosted at a Canberra nightclub recently and I'm quite embarrassed about. However, that really does balance things up. I believe I tipped Dolphins coming into this one. Almost certainly I would have. But no Isaiah Katoa is a big thing. Bunty Afoa comes on to start in the front row for the West Tigers. Apikorousau obviously backing up from Origin in number 9, but he didn't come on in game 2. So should be nice and fresh. That moves Fanua Bale to the bench. We see Josese Lanyon retain his spot after getting his NRL debut last week. Couple of changes as well for the Dolphins on their bench. John Finianganofo comes onto the interchange, as well as Kulikefu Fuiaki, and Heath Mason for the Tigers is the only other inclusion. They're out there in Campbelltown today. They're wearing their Campbelltown jersey. It's more Magpie-oriented. I love the look of it. Let's get into the game, huh? Let's get into the game. Just saw my dad at Campbelltown. You saw him, like, in the ground. That's pretty cool. That scoreboard, by the way, I wanted to show you guys this before I actually get it set up properly. This is what it looks like before I start running my program. When I start running my program, bang. Talk about a glow up. Talk about a glow up. That Dolphin side of it looks really cool as well, particularly. Where's my goddamn Pepsi sip? You redeemed it so early, I have not had time yet to pour it, but it's okay. I have it in mind. We will get a Pepsi sip. Mostly because I feel the need to be egregiously caffeinated at the moment. I'm in a weird old space right now in my head. I was going to have the most productive morning possible, stream for like 6 hours, and then work on videos in the evening. I was going to do it yesterday as well, but after streaming, I was like, my brain's not working, and I ended up watching Wolverine Origins, which might be one of the truly worst movies I've seen in my life. It's just so goofy. Anyway, it was fun. So that's all that matters, really. That's all that matters. Apparently, the game's underway. They are well and truly not underway on my screen. I'll let you know when they kick off on my screen so you can sync up with me as always. But the Tigers are yet to run out. So I've changed the timer as well. So that's a much better fit than it was yesterday. I'm coming to Canberra next week for Raiders and Dragons. Are you going? I assume so. I haven't got concrete plans around it, but pretty much whenever the Raiders are playing here in Canberra, I go. So 90% sure I will be going, yes. W new update. Thank you. Thank you very much. I think the chat's a bit easier to read as well. I made the video that plays in the background of that a little bit less, I guess, intrusive. As I've said, the biggest changes that I've actually made to the live streams are changes that I'm going to experience, but you guys aren't going to experience that much. Sort of convenience-related things. But it's going to be a benefit in that I'm going to be able to focus more on commentating rather than trying to manage all these elements of the live stream. A lot of it is now more automated, which is very good. I've also got a really cool idea for going through the teams, but I don't know if I can make it work. I'm going to try. But anyway, it's a long-term thing. Alrighty. League, is it true you're planning to air raid Melbourne territory of the Lorenzo Imperium? No, I'm not currently, mostly because I can't be bothered. I don't think Melbourne's really worth my time. So looking at the poll that's up on YouTube, I have not seen this in a long time, but after 20 votes, which is a very substantial amount, 50-50. 50-50 this one, and I don't know. I tipped Dolphins based on the fact that they named Katoa. I would still be sticking with them, but I have a feeling something's brewing in Tiger Town. There's the kickoff if you want to sync up with me. Jermaine Sarkle gets us underway for today's game. It's going to be Sunita River catching it to back fence Bunty into the tackle of Felice Kofusi, Herbie Farnworth. Have a look at that. There's a bit of a jersey clash, a fair bit of white going on, but anyway, you can tell who's who. Jesse McLean, Casey Maguire's brother, has been given permission to lead Panthers. The Dogs are favourites for his signature. Yeah, it's I've always kind of felt for him a little bit because he you know, coming through Penrith as well, outside back. It must be so weird when like your younger brother is hitting all these incredible milestones. Like, you'd be so proud of him. I'm sure, I don't know their relationship, but I assume it's good. You'd be so proud of him for like being, you know, an origin as a teenager, but like as the older brother, it must feel a little bit sad for you. I don't know at the same time, but I hope he can find his feet at the Dogs. Kick there from the Tigers. Underneath it is going to be Tavita Nafahu. Steve Hunter says thoughts on the Officer Bowl situation. Save that for Leaguie games, bro. Save that for Leaguie games. Is Jesse good? He's not Casey level. He's a solid fringe outside back. Like if he had to come in during, say, the Origin period and do a job to cover for injury, I'd be very comfortable having him in my club. But as a starting winger, I'm not sure. He hasn't proven that. So, Legman Turkey are 5 minutes away from getting grouped. Wait, so they're losing to Paraguay? Insert Jake Tungo. Yeah, that's true as well. Hey, wait, is Jake older than Isaac? I didn't know that. I assumed that Isaac was older than Jake. But there we go. All right, kick for Schneider underneath. Oh, Taruva. He did lose it initially. He managed to catch the ball before it hit the ground. But a little bit of a shaky start there for the experienced West Tigers winger. Back from St. Bart's. Wouldn't miss my first league stream back for the Wild. Well, thank you for returning. I'm flattered. I'm glad to have you. Just redeemed a thing. Here we go.
Money God 164 yet just redeemed. Changed the background color. Red and gold for the Finns. Also, can you say Finsip and Roosters suck?
I'll say Fins up. I won't say the second half of that. That's sacrilege for me. Can't be doing that. Cannot be doing that. But no, I am very much on the Fins bandwagon this year. I was decently high on them coming into the season. I think that's the best I could do. There's a bit of gold at the top, but it's hard when it's during the day and there's a bit of light coming in from outside to do the background colors. But anyway, we'll fix it more in the evening. The votes have really swung towards the Finns now. 38% people think Tigers will win after another 10 votes from last time. Bostock there with a run. Thoughts on Australia's loss to USA? Didn't watch it. Glad I didn't get up and watch it. I was up very late last night, tinkering with the live streams again, fixing some little details. And as I said, watching X-Men Origins Wolverine, which was a god-awful movie. But yeah, I think it's the expected outcome. They've got a bit of space out here with Tavita Nafahu. Tackled there eventually by Jareem Buller. But there's one more tackle left here for the Finns. Might be some space on the other side. No, the Tigers defense has set nicely there. Spread well across the try line. They get it to Cody Nikarima. On to find Bradley Schneider, who does kick to that right-hand side of the field. It's going to be Bostock up for it. He catches it. Ball doesn't hit the ground yet. Isako beelining for the corner. Can't quite get there. I tell you what, it was bloody close. But no. No, grounds it on the touchline there. Jeez, he did the little Mark Noangani to us a stutter step. He wasn't quite sure, decided to go for it. Why not? It's probably a good thing to do. Is it going to be a 20-meter restart, though? I wonder. Yeah, his foot was in touch, and he grounded it on the sideline. But good sliding defense from the West Tigers there. Not even the worst Wolverine movie somehow. See, I have watched them all. Well, the Hugh Jackman ones. Are you saying that the worst one is the one where he was in Japan? I've only watched that one once. X-Men Origins Wolverine, I've watched, I think, for the 3rd time yesterday. I watched it when I was a kid, I remember. But it was just, I guess as a kid, you don't notice how utterly goofy it is. Penalty there to the West Tigers. Oh, and it's, hang on. I heard 6 more there. It's a bit of confusion. I think it is penalty to the Tigers. But there was a call for a 6 more there as well. No, never mind. It is a 6 more. It is a 6 more. The referee has made the wrong call, but immediately corrected himself. No harm done. Paraguay won. So, does that mean we're through? Maybe? I don't think it would. I haven't really been paying much attention, though. I thought I'd care more about the World Cup, but I don't know. I've been so focused on the things that I'm doing in my life right now. So... all right. Yeah, I can't believe Turkey, like they should have been a dark horse kind of team. That's really surprising. Who wins this time? Rough guess between Finns and Tigers. It's such an even game. I tipped Dolphins, and I will stick with my tip of the Dolphins. Marshall King had a dummy half there. Formerly a West Tiger, did come through their system. Debuted, I believe, with the Bulldogs though. Don't think he played first grade for West. Might be wrong. Schneider back inside to find Finn Diesel. Tackled there by Terrell May, Bunty Afoa, and Alex Seyfarth. So, 2 more left here. They are right on the Tigers line. Schneider, short ball there. Potentially tackled Oren Keeley before he caught the ball, but no call of that. And the Tigers regain the ball up to the 20. Thoughts on the Dean situation, says Dean. Well, you're going to have to inform me about that one. What is your situation? Yes, the Wolverine movies are less rocks and diamonds, more like poop. Word that you specifically would not allow me to say, so I won't say it. And diamonds. See, I like... Are we distinguishing the Wolverine movies from the X-Men movies? Because I really like the X-Men movies. They're not, like, the greatest, but I think that they're fun. But yeah, the Wolverine standalone ones are not ideal. I liked Deadpool and Wolverine, though. So, no, we need to beat Paraguay and hope Turkey doesn't score too many goals against America. I think America will beat Turkey. But would a draw not be enough to get us through? I feel that we're going to beat Paraguay anyway, but whatever. 6 more there for the West Tigers. Not Mrs. Leaguie. That's a great username. I did not, unfortunately, have not seen that email. I'm assuming it's an email yet. All right, Seyfarth now. On the first here, they've got their first attacking opportunity of the game. Let's see what Jerome Luai can do in this set. No Adam Dewey, obviously. Let's see how he commands the attacking raids of the West Tigers here. Luai out to find Jareem Buller. Sort of runs into a bit of a dead end out there on the right-hand side. Pepsi Max sip. I just did a Pepsi Max sip. Yes. There, you've got it. You got it. A decent run from him. He was never quite going to make it to the line, but had a bit of intent about it there. Plays it. 2 more left here. Madden. They're going left-hand side. Luai puts a kick in behind. There's Tigers everywhere. They get their first of the game.
Dean off travel now just redeemed Pepsi Max sip.
You picked a terrible time to redeem that, Dean, because the Tigers have just scored their first try, and it is Sione Fainu playing in the back row. I know him more as one of those middle forward style players, but on an edge, replacing Kai Pearce-Paul, the Tigers get their first. That was supposed to play a sound, and it didn't play the sound. That's very annoying. Anyway, here's the sound. What? Oh, the sound still didn't work. Look, we're going to have teething problems, all right? These are new animations, new everything. It's going to be a little bit tricky. I will play the sound. Don't worry. Hang on. Bear with me here. Here we go. We are the Tigers in my white and gold. Stout-hearted men, all fit and bold. Here's your Pepsi Max sip. I've got to make this last for 3 games, so I'm taking some more sips. Very small sips. The issue is I've got 1 more bottle, but I need one for tomorrow as well, so... So, it was Dolphins' domination throughout the majority of this opening 10 minutes. They very much spent it camped on the Tigers' line, but first opportunity West had down that end of the field, kicking behind on the 4th from Jerome Luai, and it was just chased really well there from Sione Fainu. Paraguay had 10 men for the second half. How did Omar Aldorete play? I know that he's a Sunderland player and he's very good. Australia will probably play against Brazil. I mean, does it really matter? Like we're not going to win the tournament, right? So for me, in any World Cup, the goal for Australia is progress to the knockouts. That's what I really care about. Once we've got there, anything that happens as a result is a bonus. So, kick here from Jock Madden. Starts it out to the right, but swings back absolutely beautifully, and it's a goal to the West Tigers. Thoughts on the Rugby League Oz situation? Shout out Rugby League Oz on Instagram. Good content. Also happens to do a side hustle of being Did Leaguie swear in the chat. Terry says, I really hope Tom Trbojevic comes in to replace Stags in Origin Game 3. Also, surely Joey taking over the job is worth talking about. Joey taking over as Blues coach. He doesn't strike me as a coach. Like, I don't know. I feel almost Matty is more of a coaching mind. The way that I've heard him talk about footy. I'm sure Joey could do a job, but it's not necessarily like, you know, the best players will become the best coaches, although that obviously happened with Billy Slater. I would have had Tom in my Game 1 side if he was match fit on the wing instead of Tolu Kola. I thought Kola was quite good in Game 1. Did a job for sure in Game 2. Was contained largely by Robert Toya. But if Latrell and Tom Trbojevic are fit, they're my centers. Mark and Toto are my wingers. Tedesco fullback. Strange and Cleary in the halves. Haas and, I will say it again, Terrell May to start. Robson 9. Potentially Brayley 9. I'd give that some consideration, but Robson 9. Back row was Young, Olakawatu, Locke, Murray, and then a bench of one of Robson or Brayley, whoever's not starting. Yo, probably still AFB, even though they didn't use him very well. I believe in the impact that he can have, but if you don't want to go him and you want to go Barnett, I don't really mind too much. I'm probably forgetting people. Liam Martin. Liam Martin would be somewhere there as well. Maybe consider starting Liam Martin. And then moving one of those back rows to the bench. But yeah, some sort of mix of that. Honestly, though, I don't think it matters. I just don't think we're going to win. I really don't. Knock on that, Oren Keeley. I think you can have the best team ever, but when you've got a coach who... You know what they say, when there's smoke, there's fire. And there are very solid reports that the players literally don't think that he's interesting. When he's the coach, yeah, you're in a bit of Barney. All right? You're in a bit of Barney. So, anyway, let's go back to the green background. Just got a notification on my phone, by the way. This might be of interest to you guys. Apparently, one of the channels that I'm subscribed to, the Leaguie, has just started streaming on YouTube. Might want to check that one out. Genuinely, why bring on Strange? You mean bring him on from the bench? Or why start him? I think he was great in Game 1, and I think he offers more of a point of difference to what Moses does. Look, if they go Moses and Cleary, I won't blow up. Moses has done it at Suncorp before, but yeah, as I say, I don't know if it really matters. Looking through that forward pack named there. Oh, yeah, Ford. Ford, yes, sorry. Ford is a player I forgot. Bradley, I think, still had a good impact. He gave away those 2 penalties in that one drive, but aside from that, he was solid. I'd be quite happy with that forward pack,
Leaguie,
yeah.
someone just redeemed a thing.
Oh, Coruscant. I don't know.
Travel just redeemed, change the background color.
Again?
Blue and red for the Roosters.
Oh, okay. That, you know what? That one I can get behind, especially given that we're playing your team this week. We really need to win that game, by the way. That's tomorrow. Penalty there to the Dolphins. So it looked like it was going to be an attacking raid almost from the West Tigers there, but Finn's penalty. Oh, no, like, why didn't they bring on Api instead of Strange? More to the point as well. I think was it Stags who came off? We had Bostock on the bench, and we brought Strange on at center instead of bringing on Bostock at center, which is like, okay, well, so why pick Bostock then? Because if you've used Strange as your center cover, and you're picking Bostock solely as wing cover, I feel there are better exclusively, like, wingers than
Leaguie,
Jack
someone
Bostock.
just redeemed a thing.
Damn, it's all happening.
Travel now just redeemed head dent check.
That's a dent and a half. That is a Harvey dent. That's what that is. Shout out my Batman enjoyers. Holy. The Turkish national team's full-time score Twitter post has 259 likes and 2.2 thousand replies. Oh my days. Are they angry Turkey fans or are they opposition fans giving it to them? I think it might be penalty Tigers here. No, penalty Dolphins, in fact. I saw a Tiger down. No, penalty against Jack. So Fox have got it wrong. I was correct. Fox got their graphic wrong. It is, in fact... No, not a away penalty. It is a home penalty there to the West Tigers. Yeah. I don't know what the newspaper news is. Not sure what you're referring to there. But if you want to announce something in the chat, feel free. Who wins this one? Yeah, you asked this earlier. I tipped Dolphins, and I tend to sort of stick with my tips. I find the more often I switch up on my tips, the more often I tend to get them wrong. So I'm going to stick with Dolphins, but Tigers have started really well here. Really well. I do think Katoa being out is showing a little bit in terms of attacking shape. Greetings from California. Damn, I don't know if I've had a viewer from California before. I come in peace, lol. We got this game on Fox Sports 2 here in the States. Really? There we go. Even I didn't know that. So do you have most NRL games on Fox Sports 2, or is this sort of a... rare exception? But anyway, look, I personally didn't watch the Socceroos versus USA game earlier today. But congratulations on the win. Congrats on the win. All right, solid take there from Trey Fuller there, the fill-in fullback. Tim Payne, the NZ footballer, was with an Argentinian influencer and he made him get millions of followers. At this stage, he has more followers than the All Blacks. Was he with an Argentinian influencer? I thought the Argentinian influencer just sort of said, go follow Tim Payne. I'm kind of... So I had a rough idea, as Finns get 6 more here. I had a rough idea of doing one for the Rugby League World Cup, trying to get around that. One started yesterday by Yasin, who does like sort of that quiz style content, Broncos fan. He's trying to get it started with Matty Croker. But there's not really much of a reason behind it. I'm just looking to get, like, when the World Cup comes around, there is going to be some absolutely random Papua New Guinean man in the team who is going to be a cult hero, right? Built like an absolute ton of bricks. No one will have heard of him before in the NRL spaces. And I'm just going to pick out that guy and say, let's all go follow him. Like, that's my goal. That's what I want to do. Here we go. We have like 2 to 3 games a week, and the Vegas games are usually on Fox Sports 1. I'm a Sharkies fan, by the way. How come you became a Sharkies fan? But that's really good. I'm like very oriented towards International Rugby League, and even I didn't know that you've got 2 to 3 games a week on Fox Sports 2. That's great. All right. Across to find Schneider here. Batted on. Sideline was beckoning there. I think this is forward off to Ruva here. I think this is going to be Finn's ball. We've got a whistle here. Yeah, touch there. So it's going to be 6 ball here for the Finns. NRL Head says, I can't lie, I don't really like that guy. He seems annoying. He's entertaining. After the grand final last year, I was doing a little bit of a live stream outside the stadium, and I had no idea who he was, but he ran up behind me and, like, jumped on me, like, physically jumped on me. And, like, because it was live, like, I kind of laughed it off, but, like, I was terrified. I had no idea a strange man was going to run up behind me and jump on me. And only, like, half a year later at Magic Round earlier this year, he was like, oh, yeah, that was me, by the way. Blew my mind. Blew my mind. Cooper Matty Johns want to get Croaks up there and followers too. They said it on the backstage potty. Right, so it might have come from them initially, and Yasin's just getting around it. But, no, I want it to be a World Cup related thing. Like, Matt Croker, yeah, sure, we can do it. But, like, I'm thinking there's going to be a low-profile dude who's got, like, a few hundred followers. That's what I'm kind of thinking. And we can get him well into the 4 figures. Steiner, across to find Nicarima. Short ball. Oh, shelling peas. Nicarima to Farnworth is the best center in the world for a reason. And the West Tigers, their defensive line parted their Finns in for their first of this game.
Sing it loud and put up your fins. We are the mighty, mighty Dolphins.
That is beautiful work there from Cody. He's a very experienced half now, just the double pump. My clock seems to be frozen, but it's not at the wrong time completely. I think maybe NRL.com's match timer is not having the best time of it at the moment. Thoughts on Val Holmes missing the conversion? It was, yeah, really not ideal. One thing that stood out to me, though, I don't know if any of you saw NRL Soapbox's vid earlier today, but there was I don't remember who wrote the article, but there was an article writing about that final Carl Flanagan no try and how all he had to do was put the ball down and the Dragons would have won. To blame Kyle Flanagan for yesterday is maybe the most brilliant example I can ever illustrate of media being incredibly lazy. Kyle Flanagan was the best player on the field yesterday. In my opinion, absolutely the best player on the field. His kicking game was brilliant. Maybe the best I've seen it. Had the ball on a string. And if he had come up with that really difficult put down there right at the end, it would have capped off the best performance of his career, in my opinion, to guide the Dragons to an unlikely win. And yet, he's to blame? Yeah. Not great. Kat says, you look like a corporate live reaction YouTuber, but I can't put my finger to who it is yet. Corporate live reaction YouTuber. See, there's a lot of things in there that I don't like. Reaction YouTubers I despise with every fiber of my being. Corporate, you know what? I can actually kind of get around that. I've got a bit of corporate about me, but I'm very curious as to sort of what you mean. But anyway. Rugby02 says, can't wait for tomorrow because I'm going to my first Warriors game. That is going to be very exciting. I have not been to New Zealand in my life before, let alone a Warriors game, but I'm really, really keen to. Really keen to. Alrighty there. So we are tied up at 6 points apiece. So yesterday after the stream, I added in an element to this new program that I've got going where the team songs are supposed to play when a try a field goal or a 2-point field goal is scored. Evidently, that's not happening. I'm having to do it manually, but I'll try and fix that on the run if I can. All right. Kick there from Brad Schneider. He was about 40 out from his own line. 20 minutes left to go in this first half. I don't know about you guys, but it feels like we're more than 20 minutes into this game. It's been hard fought. It's been hard fought. You look like Leaguie cast. No, me and that guy have absolutely nothing to do with one another. Nothing to do with one another. I've got a bit of corporate about me. That's a quote. And then where's something called Speed Dealer Sonny's while also having like 100 quotes of him saying diabolical things out of context. I think 100 is probably unders. I think that that's actually a little bit disrespectful. I have way more than that. Absolutely got way more than that. All right, Botley, up to just over the halfway line there. So on now to Seyfarth. Jock Baden there. You know what's difficult about commentating with Speed Dealer Sonny's on? They make everything darker. And when a side is coming out of their own end at Campbelltown and they're in that massive shadow, I can't see who it is. What a catch tray fuller there, by the way. Oh, my days.
He's everywhere, bro.
Run there from Schneider out of dummy half. I don't know. I mean, this obviously would have happened in the past, but I don't know how many times a side has, in the NRL, had a halves combination where one was Netherlands eligible and the other is German eligible. That gets me very up and about. As a Griffin Cup enthusiast... Hey, Leaguie, someone just redeemed a thing. That gets me up and about.
Lorenzo just redeemed changed the background color.
Here comes an essay.
Leaguie, why did you try to buy a naturist beach at 3 a.m. and how did you lose to a 56 years old Latvian dude living in the nation of Togo? Give me white for the surrender of France in World War II.
Look, I'll give you a white background, but I'm gonna be honest, brother. So you know how they talk in school about the downsides of doing drugs? There's very, very many of them, and I feel that you're becoming with every passing day even more of a poster child for the negative ramifications of ingesting significant amounts of magic mushrooms. Because my stars, brother, what was any of that? Like, what was any of that? WTF says you can't read this message, it's too dark. Although I wouldn't have been able to know what that message said because it's too dark. So I'm just kind of guessing what's in there. White background goes kind of hard, actually. I quite like this. I quite like this. All right. Madden not to find Jareem Buller. They're up over the 30 now. The attacking 30, that is. Coruscant calling some shots there. 2 more tackles left. Ballet. Just takes a hit up there. We'll get it to just over the 20. Just a question, bro. That's all right. I'm just making an observation. Madden, short ball there to find Fainu. Gets it to Luai. Steps inside. Can he get there? I think he's short. Oh, the call's forward pass anyway. Jeez. It was beautiful work. The late offload there from Fainu to a fleet-footed Jerome Luai. It was a special little attacking move. It was the offload forward. I don't know which one they're calling as being forward. I don't know if Luai got there anyway, but... C-Factor says, thoughts on Dictator Mbappe? I obviously know of the meme, but what is it? Just that he wants to, like, run every team is part of, and that's why Real Madrid kind of struggled. Yeah, a bit of a late hit there on Jock Madden, but it wasn't the worst thing in the world. Do you have an answer to my question? No. No, I do not. Purely because I do not negotiate with terrorists. I created an image of your face on the Bundaberg mascot. It looked the same. So what we're saying is I look like a polar bear. Because I've been told... I've got this mate, right? Weird fella. But he... For some reason, ever since we were kids, has had this absolute insistence on the fact that I look like a baby goat. And I don't know where it comes from. I have no clue. He's shown me photos of baby goats and be like, this is what you look like. And I'm like, I have a mirror. Like, I've seen myself before, and I'm gonna be real with you. I don't see the correlation between the image you're showing me and what I know myself to look like.
Catanella just redeemed timeout somebody else. At Lorenzo Theraborn here is at the Leaguie answer to your question.
A timeout? I'm happy to time him out. They're saying high contact there on Jockman, and we're still looking at this tackle here. Anyway, yeah, so I don't know if it's a polar bear that I look like or if it's a baby goat, but if any of you are like, yeah, no, I absolutely see it. You do look like, in fact, a baby goat. I will still disagree, but it will make me question it a little bit more. You look like Foz? That I definitely don't see. I think that's flattering to me. Foz is a well-built man. How has this Dutchman not been to New Zealand? Well, I've been to actual Zealand, so I think that's even better. All right, Fuller there, on to find Herbie Farnworth. I've just realized, oh, that was nearly a forward offload there from Herbie. Ball stuck in his hand. The fullbacks are called Buller and Fuller. That's pretty funny. That's amusing to me, especially when the word full is already in the position. Full, Fuller, Buller. At the Leaguie, quote, I look like a polar bear. Close enough. Welcome back, polar bear. I am, in fact, Ben Hannard. Oh, what a wild offload back. That's all play on here. Ball sat up in the end goal. Jeez, the kick was brilliant. Beware the second kick. All right, we're going to review pretty much everything in this play, but it was Ray Stone. He has a habit of picking up weird old tries like that, so... Heath Mason, so might just be game over. What's happened to Heath Mason? Has Heath Mason come onto the field? For who? See, it would be great. This is one of the great areas of improvement in rugby league commentary, and it has been the case ever since I started following this game. Interchanges. They'll show like maybe 2 or 3 interchanges on the scoreboard each game, about 2 or 3 minutes late. Here we go. You look like the comedy relief overly cocky character in a relatively unknown Disney Channel high school movie with a cult following. Yeah, I don't think that's an unfair comparison to make. At all. At all. So, Stone was completely valid chasing through here. And the ball set up incredibly for him. Did he maybe tackle Stafford Toa without the ball there? It does come off the Tigers player, but I feel that there's a wrapping motion from Ray Stone. Then it touches Ray Stone. Yeah, this is very technical. This is very, very technical. Heath came on for Jock. Oh, right. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, Rayso's touching the ball and his leg's in the dead ball area. So Tigers 20-meter restart there. Tigers get away with 1. We have Bundaberg and Island now. Maybe you could be a patron. I've never had Bundaberg ginger beer in my life. Or Bundaberg rum. I don't like ginger beer. I don't see the appeal. Anything ginger related. I've said this story a couple of times, but it's been a couple months. So I'm gonna say it again. I was in a cave underneath a castle in Austria or something, right? Penalty Tigers. And it was this old castle, and underneath, yeah, there's this cave system that had markets in it. I know how weird this sounds, but it was completely true. I'm gonna say with about 40% confidence that it was the Disney castle. You know the Disney castle? It's based on an actual castle. I might be misremembering that, but it was definitely a cave system under a castle that featured a market in it. Anyway, all sorts of knickknacks, souvenirs, what have you. And there was this one stall that had all this like dried fruit and stuff. And I am a mango lover. I adore mango. Dried mango especially. Munch on that. Like we'd been walking around all day. I wanted some sugar in me. I was happy to do that, right? So I said to my dad, "Hello, Father. Could you please allow me to spend some money on the dried mango that's over there?" And he was like, "Wagwan, son. Absolutely, my brother. Let's go do it." So we did. He brought it for me. The person at the vendor didn't speak any English, but anyway, we got it done. And I bit into it, expecting like, you know, just the sweetest taste of that dried mango, and instead had the most awful realization that it was in fact dried ginger. And I fully believe if I had been aware that it was dried ginger to start with, it would have been fine. Like, I would have accepted the fate, being like prepared for the realization, like prepared for this taste that I was going to be expecting. But it was this swing that just like, it was, I can remember the taste. That's how scarring it was. And ever since that day, if I smell ginger or taste ginger, I go back to that traumatic event in that Austrian cave. I can't do it anymore. I cannot do it anymore. So, yeah. Anyway. Bro brought ginger instead of mango and takes his frustration out on the ginger. Yes, I do. Also, would like to make it abundantly clear, it is not the first time I have taken my frustrations out on a ginger. Has happened before. What are we going to do during the massive break between the next game? Well, good question. The main thing I want to do is finally get 27-0 done. We got 25-1 yesterday. Did the whole season undefeated. Didn't make the grand final. I'm very keen to do that, and I can sink hours into that thing. So, yes. You look like if Joseph Joker and his wife had a kid. That would be law accurate, yes. Is there an ingredient worse than ginger? It sucks. I don't know. It doesn't add anything positive to anything that it's part of. Gingerbread, I don't mind, but I would honestly rather bread. Underneath it, Jareem Buller. He's not down. He was maybe over there slightly, but he's not got the ball down. You won't get 27-0. Also, great story. Well, thank you for the praise on the story, but I will get 27-0 one day. I manifest. I manifest. Red says there's any changes on the score. No. Score is currently, at present, up to date. It's been a really even game. The scoreboard really does reflect quite well how this thing has played out. Both sides have delivered good footy. Delivered really good footy. Knock on there as I praise them. Herbie Farworth knocks on. Is there going to be any appeal for a challenge? No, he's appealing to the referee. He's looked at his captain and said something there. No, it doesn't look like they're going to use their challenge, though. Alrighty. While we're going to break and play, try and fix the songs playing thing. Oh, the song they're playing in the background. You know what? Here's a hot take. I don't know if anyone's going to care about this at all. But they played a song called My Sharona in the background. Very famous song. And from an era of music and a genre of music that I really like. But I think it's a terrible song. It's just not that compelling. It's kind of boring. Any lovers of old rock music out there? Am I insane? Am I missing something in this song? Because on every kind of playlist of the songs I might like that Spotify recommends me, always My Sharona is there, and I'm like, brother, you ain't gonna get me. Da 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 da. My Sharona, and then it's just the same thing again. Anyway, whatever. Yes, you are. My Sharona is a great song. I don't know, bro. I don't know. It's simple. It's really simple. Buller dummies doesn't have any opportunities there on the short side. So, now for Heath Mason, on to find Seyfarth at the back. Jerome Luai, absolutely flings a pill out to find Jarrell Skelton. Stafford, oh my god, that's one of the great tries. That's brilliant. That's actually brilliant. Stafford Toa. I'm a Stafford enthusiast. I have been a Stafford enthusiast for a long time, but that was special.
This is superhuman. This is unbelievable.
Try time to the Tigers. Have a look at this. The pass from Luai was brilliant, but then beats Isako, beats Bostock, beats Schneider, beats Gilbert, beats Fuller, and gets there. Jeez, that's brilliant. Holy. That pass as well from Luai. Look at how it didn't move at all in the air. Just like an absolute bullet. Geek says, hold on to Stafford. We can find money elsewhere. He's a really, really good player on his day. We talk about the bath that he gave Valentine Holmes. Like it's part of lore. Like it's part of rugby league legend. But it just doesn't seem to get consistent opportunities, which I think is telling. There must be some sort of attitude behind the scenes or whatever. Because he's got so many physical attributes that you just think make him primed to be a great player at this level. The thing is, I don't think that in the Tigers' best side moving forward, there's really much room for him. You got Buller at the back. Taruva could be a center. Taylor May will definitely be a center. But Makasini has to fit in there as well. That only leaves one more spot. You could have Stafford Toa there, but they really like Tino Tavana. So, a few aspects there. Coruscant with a kick, and is swung it across the face, unfortunately. He's been pretty average this year, in all honesty, other than the past few weeks. As I say, he's a really good player on his day and has brilliant moments. That's one of them. That's going to be on the highlights reels for a very long time, that one. But you can also picture him having a few stinkers as well, coming up with poor errors on kicks and everything like that. So, 10 points to 6. Tigers on top. Don't dare say that Taruva can play center. It is rugby league blasphemy. Don't know why Benji kept playing him there. It's because he's the best center they've got out of the number of wingers they have to choose from. Like, I think he can do a job there. He can slot in there. Ideally, you'd want him on the wing, and he won those comps at the Panthers on the wing. But you then have to have Makasini as a center, which I think can absolutely be done. I think he could be a Stephen Crichton style player. But they seem to like moving him around to the wing a little bit. All right, May plays it. Now to find Jerome Luai. Up in the air. Underneath that is going to be Trey Fuller. Good catch there from the fill-in fullback. My Sharona sounds like if someone's dad went through a midlife crisis and spent 8 hours writing and recording a song with his mates from his high school band and records it at 9 a.m. and uploads it. Yes, that's the thing. And I don't like this about particular songs, where the singer often sounds like they cannot be bothered to sing the song. It's like, you know how you'll get a workplace karaoke event, yeah? And you get those people who don't, like, sincerely give it a go. Don't give the singing a go. Because if they half-assed it, then they have the excuse of having only half-assed it. And that's why they don't sound good. Whereas if they were actual tryhards and they didn't sound good, they have no excuse. That's what My Sharona sounds like. The dude is half attempting to sing it. It sounds like a demo. It does sound like a demo. I'm not saying it's, like, a bad song, but how has it survived this long? You know what I mean? All right, so error there.
We are the Tigers in black, white and gold, stout-hearted.
Excuse me. I'm going to explain what just happened there, because that was egregiously loud, and I didn't actually do anything to cause that. I'm getting Claude to diagnose what is wrong with the program and why the sound isn't playing. And it's just decided to test it. It was like, yeah, we're just going to play the Tigers theme song. I'm sorry, that was super duper loud. That was really, really loud. Just Tigers theme song jump scare. That's hilarious. Turn the volume down. It is down. It is down. I don't know why that one was so loud, but it was that loud yesterday and I turned it down by 50%. Anyway, that's hilarious. That's a sign. Try the next 10 minutes. Sorry, 2 minutes, maybe. Oh, Herbert's coming off. Herbert the pervert. Shout out to him. Off the field. Hiamasi to come on. Started the season in brilliant form. Has sort of struggled a little bit through injuries and stuff. But is back into the side now. 10 points to 6 it is. Finn's ball. Tigers just scored. Nope. Nope. That was just Claude doing his thing. That's hilarious, though. I had no idea that was coming. Alrighty. Little by Little is fantastic. The Oasis song. My days it is. My word it is. Alright. On there from, I think it was Knowles to find Ray Stone. Jeremy Marshall King is in a dummy half here. Going to the left-hand side. Oh, it was Donahue, in fact, not Knowles. Oh, Lemuelu's through. Lemuelu's over. We've leveled up as we see Herbert the pervert moving across the face of the camera there. Finns score immediately. They'll have a kick to lead at halftime. The Dolphins about to take the lead. Look at that. Beautiful short ball there from Schneider. And Lemuelu, one of the many former Cowboys in this Dolphins side. Beautiful line run there. Terrell May couldn't get across to him. Buller couldn't get across to him. Sorry. I'm going to assume you guys didn't hear that. From what I can see, you guys didn't hear that. But Claude just played the song again, and it was very, very loud again. So I could hear it, but you guys couldn't hear it. And that jump scared me again there. I was like, what the damn hell? What's going on? Many former Cowboys, are you rubbing that in? No, I am simply stating a fact. The Dolphins just signed all their players from all the other Queensland teams. Fitafuiaki, Lemuelu, Gilbert, Hammer. The list is almost inexhaustible. You want former Broncos, you look at Isako, you look at Herbie, you look at Flegler. They're everywhere, bro. Copyright doesn't see that through glasses. You can't really see the game through my glasses. Not really. Anyway, Isako's converted that one. Goal for the Finns. And with 3 minutes left in this first half, the Finns take the lead. We did not hear the Finn song. Oh, yes, you didn't hear the Finn song. Because I've got it muted. That makes sense. I'll play the Finn song.
Sing it loud and put up your fins. We are the mighty, mighty Dolphins.
There you go. Herbert the pervert is holding that arm. I need to stop calling him that. I'll be liable for defamation. But anyway, I kind of don't mind. I think that'd be a bit fun. I think it makes sense when you've got Chester the molester. Like it does just kind of continue logically from the other one. You know what I mean? 'Twas an omen, not a charm. Unfortunately, 'twas. Yes. All right, Claude's giving me some fixes. I'll try and figure it out myself at halftime. My mate Mape Sone, the guy who ate 3 pies at 8 a.m., has a cousin who plays for the Tigers. It turns out that it's Hiamasi Makasini. He has such a high future around him. I'm so excited for what he's got in the future, honestly. I really, really do. And next guess for Gold Coast Titans versus Penrith Panthers, as in who do I think is going to win? Between the Titans and the Panthers. Admittedly, it's not that clear-cut because the Panthers are resting a lot of players. So, George Dragons fan, I'd like to do the grid. It's been a while since we've done the grid. I will get to open guesser at some point today, but not at halftime of this game. The Titan song bloody irritates me so much every time I hear it. It's so bad. It's so bad. And look, the little bit that I play when they score, which is this. Oh, hang on. That's like the only okay bit. It's actually terrible. The whole back half of the song is maybe the most cringeworthy thing I've heard in my entire life. It is an absolute blessing upon the human race that the Titans are seemingly allergic to winning games of rugby league football, because what it ensures is that we don't have to hear that absolutely god-awful theme song on any regular basis whatsoever. Because best believe, if we did have to, human evolution would actually begin to regress. We would start returning to the apes the more we actually had to listen to that song. That's how bad it is. Alright, on for Gilbert. Plays it for Marshall King. We got a whistle here. He crowd forward a little bit there in the play of the ball. Asked to go back and play it. 2 more tackles left for the Dolphins. Nicarima. Short ball to find Herbie. Can't do anything there. Oh, it's back now to find Nicarima. So they're still alive here on the 4th. Schneider with a run. Gets it offload back. And it's going to be in the hands of Taylor. Taylor? Yes, Taylor May. Won't be doing that. Not Mrs. Leaguie. Don't like playing other people's content on my streams. Just a personal thing. Will Dogs win? Against Manly, I don't think so. I've been surprised how many people have tipped them, though. They certainly have to. They certainly have to. All right, the halftime hooter goes. They die with the ball there, the Tigers, with Tony Sucre on the 40, and that will be halftime. A very closely contested first half out there at Campbelltown. 2 points is the margin between the Finns and the Tigers. It's been a 50-50 game. It would look like it was going to be a 50-50 game coming into it, and this one is very much up for grabs for both of these sides. Interesting one unfolding for the second half. Now, before we get into the NRL grid for halftime, I am going to do some testing on those sounds. The Tigers have not, in fact, scored a try, but I want to see if it works. No, it's still not playing the sound. That's so weird. I really can't make any sense of that. Ah, I think I figured it out. I think I have figured it out, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if this one works now. Nope, still didn't work. What the hell? Damn, that's so annoying. Anyway, it's not 18-12, it's 10-12. Get a halftime / full-time animation. I got a halftime animation for the clock at the bottom, but it doesn't seem to have actually worked. Which is mostly NRL.com's fault. Because the timer always goes well beyond 40. I don't know why they don't fix that, but anyway. I feel the same way about the Collingwood song. They look like a zebra crossing, easy path to 2 points. I just tend to not like teams that are black and white, purely because of Newcastle United. But anyway. Damn, so it's still not working. Why is it still not working? That's so weird. Sorry about this. I know it's not very entertaining, but, still not working. I know it's not entertaining, but these things can kind of only be tested live. So, at the league, are you sure it's the right Tiger song? The one you play mentions different colors than what the Tigers actually wear. Black, white, and gold. That's what they wear. I assure you, even when the Titans actually do win at home, the song doesn't play. Is that because of how terrible it is? Oh, wait, damn it. There we go. Tigers are now on the right score, and I need to get Dolphins up to the right score. This is brilliantly entertaining content, this is. Leaguie Games transition, please? Sure. Why not? Let's go for it. And if you're not subscribed to the gaming channel and have any interest whatsoever in gaming, I will in... It's only a couple weeks away now. Live stream the entirety of GTA 5 in one sitting. I've done it once before, and it nearly killed me. I didn't do it streaming either. Streaming is going to be significantly more difficult. I have never streamed for that long. I'm really quite scared about it. But it's kind of exciting. I thought they were orange, black, and white. No, they're gold, technically, not orange. NRL grid, yes, we're doing the NRL grid. There's your League Games transition. NRL grid. So, this is today's NRL grid. If you're not familiar with the NRL grid, we're looking for players from the NRL era, 1998 onwards, who fill these criteria. We're looking for the most obscure players possible. These scores all tend to be quite high, having a look at them. Not all of them, some of them are. So let's see who we can get. How long does that take? Playing GTA in one go? I can't remember. Like, I can play the game a lot faster than your average playthrough. I know a couple of speedrun strats, although on console they're very difficult to do. But I know a couple. And I've played the game. I've played the story mode so many times before that I know how to do it. Know my way around the map like the back of my hand. Unfortunately, that's not a flex. I'm thinking 15 hours probably, I reckon. So I'm gonna pick a random Monday during the school holidays and just bang it out. Dragon Storm Leaguie Setu, let's send it. Leaguie Setu it is. 2.58, that's not terrible. Not terrible. Will you be able to read the chat whilst playing? Absolutely. Yes. Without question. I think I'm going to be able to read chat maybe more than I do even now. Because so much of the game is just kind of like driving around, you know what I mean? And I can, like, it's, as we know, reading things on a screen while you're driving is healthy activity. Apparently, on average, 31 to 32 hours. Well, this is the thing as well. I'm going to make a judgment call, like, sort of cross this bridge when we come to it. I'm going to at least do, like, the main story. But if I get to the end of the main story and I'm somehow like, I could keep going, I'm going to do all the side content as well. That would end up being quite a lot more. Josh McCrone, Dragons halfback. He played a lot of games. McCrone. I think we can do better here. I think we can go like a... Bud Sullivan, or did Junior Amone ever play halfback? I know he played a lot of 5'8". Dogs halfback, Bailey Biondi-Odo. That's what I'm looking for. That is absolutely... What? I swear he played halfback. I don't even blame you for that. I would have been really confident that he played a game at halfback. Did, This is a bit of a risk, but I'm feeling it. Oh, even Olawapu didn't. No, that didn't. You didn't see anything. You didn't see anything. You saw absolutely nothing. We're cheating. We're cheating, folks. Storm 300 plus. Bromwich? Yeah, there's not really a low score here, so that's all right. Dragons kicked a field goal. None of them could do it yesterday, that's for sure. Bulldogs halfback Foz. It will be high scoring, but please do it for respect for Fozball. Why would I respect Fozball? No, we can do better. Think of the 2020 era. It's always the 2020 era when it comes to the Dogs. They had random-ass men. Matt Frawley. Did he... I know he played 5'8". Did he play halfback? Surely. Surely like one game. Just one game of Matt Frawley. Yes. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, that's very cool. Money good. Yeah, I saw the logo for it. Drew Hutchison absolutely should have gone. Well, oh no, Hutchison didn't play first grade at the Dragons. Damn, I feel bad there. Did Hutcho ever click a field goal? I don't think he did. Kyle Flanagan. He would have kicked a field goal, but yeah, let's go maybe Flanagan. Nah, again, we could do better than Flanagan. Oh, wait, who's... Lycan King Tongia. Did he ever play halfback? Tigers halfback Jesse Marshke. Yep, that's better. That's better. That's Paul knowledge from yourself. Damn. Hell yes. Here we can go for Flanagan. No. Okay. Wait, have we used the refresh already? Apparently. Maybe it knows we refreshed. Money God, I won't be playing it on stream. At least not for the first time. I need to have a look at it off stream beforehand. But I'm glad you made it. And yeah, feel free to promote it as you are if you like. Lycan played one game off the bench. Yeah, that's not really what is... So they needed to have started at halfback. That's the key thing there. I really would have guessed that Flanagan would have kicked a field goal. I don't know why. I just assumed. Played halfback and played 300 plus games. You got Kronk, Hunt, Cherry Evans, Pierce. Did Pierce ever get 300? I think he might have, you know. Pierce might be a shout there. Pierce might be a shout. He did go over to England at the end, actually. So maybe he didn't... Oh, but he started so young. We've already got one wrong. I'm just going to send in Mitchell Pearce. I'm only like 10% confident. Oh, hell yes. I'm happy with that. Kick the field goal, play 300 plus games. Lycan King Tongia. Did Soward get 300? I unfortunately don't think so. Jake Clifford, 300 plus at field goal. Yep, for sure. For sure. Jake Clifford. I'm going to try and think of Dogs and Storm. You got like Jack Hetherington. But I think there's better ones. I think there's better ones. Some like random ass number 9. Darren Lockyer played one game at halfback. Unfortunately, not the dude anymore. Dogs field goal, Neil Baker. Oh, Dogs field goal, sorry. Not there. Brother, does not exist. Adokar, although kind of obvious. Has Adokar played 300? Ah, yes, Paul Gallen's a shout here. Hell yeah. I remember that. I'd forgotten. But yes, of course. Has like Jack Cogger kicked a field goal? Because he'd be good for Dogs. Remus Smith? Remus Smith. Hell yes. He was a very underrated player back in the day. Where's my boy Remus? Bang. Remus Smith. Few Pepsi Max sips going on right now, by the way. It's kind of Pepsi Max sip central. That's very much what we've got going on at the moment. One more to go. Hey, Leaguie, someone just redeemed a thing. No way.
Lorenzo Theraborn just redeemed Pepsi Max Sip.
Well, I just did one. Fine. There we go. Neil Baker played in the early 80s. My ball knowledge is locking in. Unfortunately, this is only 1998 onwards, but shout out to you. Dogs field goal, Cogger. Let's send it. I did say it. I didn't know if he'd scored a field goal, but bang. So absolutely bang average, but we did get one wrong, obviously. We were robbed, though. I feel that we should have been able to use a refresh. This was yesterday's. We'll go through this one a bit more quickly. Played fullback. Broncos. Perham. Played fullback, played in 2018. Maybe? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We're flying here, folks. Played fullback, Sharks. Not necessarily at the Sharks. Should have gone Jake Granville there. Karapani, Bronx and teenager. Did he now? Oh, yeah, because he... No, apparently not. You lied to me. Lie to me. So that's our refresh. Unfortunately gone. I'm trying to think Broncos and Raiders. There's like... Normally there'll be like 2 or 3 obvious ones that come to mind. There's not even an obvious one coming to mind. A few players went between them back in the day, but not so much NRL era. Has Stone Street played fullback? I don't think so, unfortunately. I'm thinking like Cade Dykes or Liam Eisen. But I'm not that confident that Eisen has actually debuted in the NRL at fullback. Not that confident. Broncos teenager Pangai Jr. Are we confident? Well, it's Tiger Walker. I trust Tiger Walker. Nope. Normally we're actually like really good at this. We ain't having a great time of it today, bro. We ain't having a great time of it. Did Denon debut as a teenager? I'm pretty sure that he debuted young. That would have been great. That would have been sick. Damn. Anyway, Dolphins have saved us by coming out again for the second half, so... But yes, anyway. Sorry, the little gaming transition there reminded me. I'll put the link to the gaming channel in the chat because I'm very passionate about it. When the off-season comes around. It's so much fun, and it's such a great way of staying in contact with you guys via live streaming when there's absolutely zero watch-along live streams to do. So, yeah, just chuck the link in both the YouTube and the Twitch chats. Don't do Denny Kemp. No, Denny, it was already good done anyway. Already done anyway. Ryan James, Broncos Raider. I didn't remember him was playing for Broncos. I know it was Titans and Raiders. That's interesting. Have you listened to my new podcast on Spotify and Apple Music? I don't believe that you announced one. Oh, it's called Man in a Pub. Yeah, you didn't announce that. That's why. Like, man, she's a 10, but she's a fraud according to what it says on the wall in her math room that I wrote. Brother is absolutely tripping. Paul McCartney wrote a brilliant song recently in his album. Actually, it's not brilliant. I kind of didn't like the song that much. But it talks about this person just absolutely tripping her eyes out. And I feel that that's probably you, Lorenzo. What are you on about, brother? GTA 6 stream going to be mad? Oh, yes. I still am in 2 minds about it. Look, I'm leaning towards maybe just streaming my playthroughs of it. I feel that everyone's going to, though. And it's going to be such a deeply, like, personal thing for me that I would like to maybe enjoy it myself. But let's kick off for the second half. I will probably do it on stream. Probably. Alrighty. Odd to find Tommy Gilbert. What's that game, not? I'm pre-ordering GTA 6 on the 25th. Oh, of course. I think we all are. Now that that's out. Now that the pre-orders are announced. Excuse me. Alright, run there from Ray Stone. So, they showed the tribe predictor that Fox have now, which is some sort of application of statistics through, I think it's AI from memory. Anyway, I've never seen it go 50-50 before, but I think that that's such a good reflection of how this game is playing out. I'm comfortable with my tip of the Dolphins. If I had to call a winner right now, I would say the Dolphins. But geez, there's a lot to play out here. A lot to play out here. If Man in a Pub came out, would it be done for copyright? No, I don't think so. I don't think that the Bloke in a Bar people would actually enforce that. It says Fox AI. Look, I'm not denying that. I just couldn't really remember. I think what that goes to show is how little value I actually put into the evidently Fox AI statistics that they have. I don't know. I think I saw 50-50 on the 0-all halftime game a couple weeks ago. Well, there you go. As I said, could be wrong, but I don't remember it. I don't remember it. Halftime score, please. This. 12-10. All right, I think that's just knocked on there by Taylor May. Yes, it is. And it's going to be in the hands of Bostock here. Crabbing across field. So, Dolphins will start this set in very good field position. Nearly on the halfway line. Gold Coast Tigers or West Titans? I'm taking the Gold Coast Tigers. I think a Tiger is a better mascot than a Titan. Are there any good Titan teams in the world? Like, I know you got the Tennessee Titans. Like, they're just not... They ain't much to write home about either. They're the only other Titans I can think of. I know there's that movie, Remember the Titans, but that's like a whole different thing. Well, see, not Mrs. League. That would be cool, but the issue is I don't want to be subjected to putting on stream what you guys draw. The issue is it gives a lot of power to you guys to draw something that I don't want to have on stream, and then I'd have to put it on stream. So it sucks, but because there are bad actors out there, I can't really do that type of thing. You know what I mean? Your episode on Bloke in a Bar has the most dislikes from a Bloke in a Bar episode on Spotify. I don't think that's true. Across the fight in the Fahu. Bang! First try, the second half goes to the Dolphins. And they're lead by 6. Kick to come. Fins lead by 6.
Sing it loud and put up your fins. We are the mighty Dolphins.
Look at that. Brilliant put down from Tavita Nafahu. York Knights. So that's not one of the teams called the Titans, though. That's the thing. Oh, are there any good Knights? Sorry, that was asked earlier. New York Titans lacrosse. Are the New York Titans lacrosse any good? Is there no changes on score? Brother, I'm not, like, so I did just change the score. Like 16-10 just there, yeah. The scoreboard that is below me is up to date. Like, I appreciate you asking, but it is correct. So, yeah, that's all right, not. That's all good. Teen Titans, the best Titans. That's actually very true. That's a great point. Those are very good Titans. Those are very, very good Titans. I remember watching Teen Titans Go as a kid and then learning that there was a whole other cartoon around it that was less kiddie. But I didn't really care. It was never... I don't really get watching superhero cartoons all that much. I know apparently some of them are really good, but I don't know. Not my thing so much. The most disliked Bloke in a Bar episode is Zach Lomax. The interview with Zach Lomax? Did he do an interview with Zach Lomax? Anyway, Saka from the sideline. So, hang on. If... I think that was... Why is the cameraman done that? I don't know. Anyway. They've kicked the goal. So, if my episode on Bloke in a Bar, which, by the way, I did about 10, so there's your starting point. If it wasn't actually the most disliked episode in Bloke in a Bar history, why did you just say that it was? Just to hurt my feelings? Or what? What we saying? Why? Not very nice. Regarding my She's a 10 comment, I wrote on the wall in a girl's math room. A girl's math room. What? We'll call it Trisha for privacy. Trisha's a fraud. I don't think that explains anything. What do you mean a girl's math room? And what, did you just expect me to all get the inside joke? I'm so confused. Anyway. We did a live stream on Insta for the first half. Very cool. Did you enjoy it? Did it go well? Anyway, 8-point lead here for the Finns. Underneath for a run from Lemuelu there. So 5 minutes gone inside this second half. The Finns with the early try through Tavita Nafahu. The math room the girl learns math in at school, which so happens to be my crush. Okay, so this is unfolding here. I'm now invested. I thought you meant like this individual girl's math room, but the class that she happens to have maths in, you wrote that she's a fraud, and yet you have a crush on her. So that's like, there's conflicting messaging going on here. And I want to highlight that fact. Typically, if you want someone to like you back, the best approach to take is praise or kindness rather than accusations of financial criminal activity. High tackle there, penalty to the Tigers. You're a Tigers fan. What? You've just dodged the question. What are you doing? What are you talking about? Why did you say it was the most disliked episode ever? It's not very nice. Yeah, WTF. I read that out earlier, and I completely agreed. I went into that whole tirade about it being like kind of half-assed, the singing of it. We did have fun doing a stream. That's good. Streaming can be very fun. It can be very, very fun. I really enjoy it. She doesn't like me, hasn't since 2023. Well, don't be mean to her, though. That's not very nice. It's not very good. Mason tackled there. Yeah, Money God, saw that earlier. As I say, though, can't play it on stream before first having a look through it. Just got to do my due diligence there. Hey, Leaguie, I'm loving the upgrades to the screen. It's been a minute, lol. Yes. No, it's... I'm a big fan of them. I only came through yesterday, but took a bit of hard work to get them through. On the last hit, they're running it. Getting an offload there to Mason, tackle there on the last. There was a bit of something going on there for the Tigers. But anyway, yeah, I think it's a big improvement from what we used to have. Who's winning the Super League? I haven't looked at it for a couple of weeks, but I like how the Leeds Rhinos have been sort of doing this year. No dramas, Money God. Sorry for cutting you off, but I'd like to confirm that with this score, the Dolphins have surged to third on the ladder. You're not cutting me off whatsoever. But that's very cool for them. They're getting a brilliant run of form. Frankly, they're past that point. Like, it's properly, they're in the full swing of it. And they are putting together a charge towards the back end of this season. Still, we've got a lot of footy to be played in this game. I think that if the Tigers score next, that's really important. If Dolphins score and go up to 14, I don't think they'll be chased down. 14 points gap, by the way. Titans FC in Venezuela just won the second division. Okay, so that's like, kind of depends how you look at it, though, because you'd say that's good that they won. But if they're only a second division team, then they can't be that good, can they? See what I mean? Anyway, 6 more there for the Tigers. Lorenzo says, it's funny, and if she tries to talk about it, I'll just dash towards her and divert at the last second. That's a very weird way to interact with people. What do you mean you'll dash towards her and divert? You'll just like... You'll Roger Tuivasa Sheck step? What? Buller, cut out pass to the wing. You could just, like, talk to her, bro. Jugger is a common name in Pakistan, India, and Mauritius, according to Google. It's not common, but it's most common in those places. It's quite a rare name. Tavita Defy with a good take, but it's going to be our penalty to the Tigers. They should take the 2 here. They should absolutely take the 2 here. 100% take the 2 here. Although, actually, okay, you know what? I tend to be on that ball. Oh, it's a captain's challenge there for the Finns. I tend to be on that, but probably 18 is not your winning score, is it? You know what I mean? Or even 19. So maybe just go for the try. Maybe. Bronx, I'm not familiar with that, unfortunately. Yeah, like RTS step. Well, I'm so... Brother. So, you like this girl. She hasn't liked you since 2023. You wrote in her math class that she's a fraud. And if she tries to talk to you about it, you will run at her and RTS step.
There's got to be an investigation into this. There's got to be, someone's got to be accountable for this.
What are you doing? What is any of that? Huh? I think Bolle scored here, by the way. Has he? I don't know if it was a stray boot or something. There was something white that contacted the ground. I don't know if it was a boot or the ball. Ibby says, up the bloody Queenslander. Cobbo has finally reached his potential. Do you think his potential could be higher? Yes. Absolutely it could be. Absolutely it could be. I'm just, something just occurred to me. I hope, I need to check this. I hope I've set up the stream to guide you all to the next stream. Oh, yes, I have. Good. Hey, Leaguie, someone just redeemed a thing. No way.
C_Phantom just redeemed, changed the background color. Todd Payton just extended until 2028. Fuck my life with the pineapple. Blue and yellow in memoriam of our next 2 seasons.
Really? That surprises me. I think Bollo's lost the ball here. Yeah, that's the call. That's the call he has. Damn. That's pretty impressive given that he was pretty much a dead man walking earlier on this season. To go from that to extending, wow. Yeah, look, I think he's doing an okay job with them this season. But I just don't think he's the guy. I don't know if he's shown enough, and this is the key element of it, to retain that job. Has he shown that he can take them to that next level? That I don't know. He could do a solid job and get them in and around the 8, but that, for me, that's not enough to retain your job as an NRL coach. All right, up to the halfway line here are the Finns. Bronx, that's certainly not true. That's certainly not true. Get a bit of praise around the Sunnies. I would like to restate this fact for those who are new and weren't here for the start of this stream where I explain why I'm currently wearing these Sunnies. Often I have them as like this thing that you can redeem and I'll wear them for 5 minutes. But in this case, it is because I woke up this morning looking like I had smoked about 25,000 blunts. My eyes were more... Like, they look like Mars. Honestly, the way that they were red and bloodshot is insane. They probably still look like that. Coruscant's through here, by the way. Has he got support? No. He doesn't. Tackled there by Fuller. They've got a shattered defensive line here, though. The Finns. Luai goes back the other way. That's not the play, Jerome. They're spreading it out now to find Tony Suka. He's got a bit of room around him. There's no one there. No Tigers helping him. But yeah, so I had to wear the Sunnies. Anyway, on the last here, to find Api Coruscant, puts a bomb up in the air. It's off the side of the boot. Buller nearly got that, though. Stone will not escape the in-goal area. We're going to review this, though. So here we go. Money God in his game set Jason Esco to common and overall 66. Ban him. I won't ban him. I feel it's a little bit like... If you were to ban someone purely for being a little bit mentally challenged like that, I don't feel that that's very nice. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to take out my anger on those who struggle. That's basically my thought. Halftime score was 12-10. Yeah, knock on Buller. My humps is basically, oh, look how sexy I am. Guys love me. And then the bloke saying, yes, you look very beautiful. And it's somehow very popular. My humps is maybe the worst song I know. It's so catchy as well. So catchy. But it might be the worst thing of all time. Dance Monkey is up there and maybe probably keeping it off top spot. However, it's got nothing to it. The singing is whiny. Zero melody there whatsoever. The lyrics are so remarkably poorly written. It's almost like a parody of itself. I don't know how the hell that's a popular song. Fuller did break through there. The Fahu knocks the ball on there. So it's going to be Tigers ball. Would you ever do a collab with The Mates? I would. Although I think they're called the Ma'arts or something. We've come to this conclusion before. Thoughts on the song Dance Monkey? Well, there we go. I don't know if you said that before or after I mentioned it, but it's up there as well. It's... You know, the quantity of music that humans are putting out has increased exponentially year on year for quite a long time. And you know that saying about like quality and quantity? It blows my mind. Here's the thing, right? I've had this conversation with people, and they'll say, look, the reason why you think music from back in the day is better than music from today is because there were bad songs back in the day as well, but they just haven't survived through history. So you're not getting those ones. You're not getting the Dance Monkeys of the 1970s. However, my contest to that argument, as Macassini's through here, by the way, Tigers have a good chance here, so I'm going to finish this point. My contest to that argument is, get the 50 best songs of the 70s and the 50 best songs of the 2010s. You best believe the 50 best songs of the 1970s absolutely rinsed the 2010s, and it is insane. And it's going to be more true for the 2020s. 2010s music was better than 2020s music. So, yeah, anyway, I will die on that hill. I will absolutely die on that hill. All right, on to find Terrell May, now Bunty Afoa. Daniela says, is it okay if you say hi in our live stream? I can try to. Yeah, I can try. I will be doing my own live stream, so I can't really do much, but I can send a little message. They've scored, by the way. They've scored. The Bounce just beat Trey Fuller, and Finu's got his second of the game. The Tigers are about to be back within 2. The Fox have brought a try to the Dolphins. That's hilarious. They pressed the wrong button. I've done it before. I can't really complain.
We are the Tigers in my white and gold, stout-hearted men, all fit and bold.
Sorry, I meant if you could say hi in our live stream after the Bulldogs and Sea Eagles game. I will do my best to remember. I have a habit of forgetting these things, but I will absolutely do my best to remember. Is Sione Finu Spider-Man? It's possible. Oh, geez, Trey Fuller. Yeah, just misjudged the bounce there. Misjudged the bounce, and that's a big moment in this game. I said this, like, it was so important that the Tigers got the next try in this game. It was super, super important they got the next try in this game. The best thing about this game is Ziggy's mode. The best thing about any game is Ziggy's mode. Pretty much every single game that Ziggy is part of, the best part of it is his own moustache. It's that good. Can you find the link between these players? Nothing to do with Rugby League. Greg Marju, Bailey Simonson, Hiamasi Makassini. And it's nothing to do with Rugby League. Can I? Nothing's coming to mind, will be honest. Kick there from, that's Heathy Mason. Shout out Heathy Mason. Goal to the Tigers. Dogs are hoping Tom pulls a hammy in the first 5 minutes. Yeah, that would certainly help them. They'd love that. Before they played NRL is a clue. Are they all... I was going to say they're all from, like, one particular area, but I don't think that's true. Unfortunately. Let me think. Daniela, your podcast is off the kicking tee, right? That'll be easy for me to remember. Are we 100% sure that Loz isn't secretly Osama bin Laden in disguise? Here's something funny about that. So, there was someone... You know that video that I did after the game doing like an impersonation of Laurie? And I put in the comments, deport this man, right? Someone in the comments got pressed about me supposedly having a hypocritical moral double standard because they said I was doing exactly the same thing that I criticized people of doing to Ashley Klein the game before. This person thought that I was sincerely calling for Laurie Daly to be forcibly removed. And this is a quote from their comment. Forcibly removed. An Australian citizen forcibly removed from their own country. It was absolutely insane. If you want to have a good old laugh, have a look in the Instagram comment section of that post. Because, wow. Some people, their disingenuousness is crazy. Absolutely crazy. They all did this separately. Marju, Simonson, and Makasini. I don't know. Before they played NRL. No idea. They all scored in a trial before they played NRL. Maybe. As a Queenslander, New South Wales should roll into Game 3 unchanged while they're at it, offer Loz a 10-year deal. I'm sure you'd love that, yeah. I'm sure you would love that. Sorry to jump ahead, but as a Titans fan in a house of Penrith supporters, do you have any words of advice? Yes. Unfortunately for you, there is only one course of action you could possibly take at this point, and it is relocation. You need to leave. You need to get out of that place and find your way up to C-Bus. That's all you can do at this stage. Tell me your Gold Coast versus Penrith Panthers. I'll go for the other bet on Torn. I'm not sure what you mean, but I won't tell you how to bet. I'm not going to do that. Reckless Ollie says, I saw that. What did you see? Did I do something? I hope I didn't do something. Thoughts on Munster's 250th. Is that tomorrow's game? Do you want the answer? I do. Yes, I do. Alright, Schneider now. On to find Isako. So Nikarima finds a charging defeat at a Fahu. Good run there from the winger. Tackled eventually there by the big Bunty. At my school, I got picked to design a jersey for the Koori Knockout, and I'm so excited because I get a couple of my jersey. What do you think about mine getting chosen? That's very cool. Well, obviously, I haven't seen your design, but the Koori Knockout's a huge tournament, so... Yeah, great. Oh, the Insta comment section of the Loz impersonation. Yeah. It's funny. Those things do kind of get to me a bit. I don't know why. Like, obviously, the person is clearly wrong. But it is a bit of a telling thing. When you are like... when you do content the way I do, and you come out so much with these, like, moral claims and media watch style statements about people, you do have to really make sure you've got a clean slate as well, because people are going to be waiting at any opportunity they could possibly get to take you down. And I've, yeah, certainly got aspects of that. Thing is with me, it's not difficult to do. I've said so many egregious things, way worse than deport Laurie Daly. So I don't know why. I know why that's the one that was focused on, but regardless. Greg Marshew, Bailey Simonson, and Makasini were all lead singers of boy bands.
C_Phantom just redeemed Pepsi Max Sip.
How the hell was I gonna get that? Look, I know ball, but I don't know people doing boy band garage singing, whatever. Bro, how do you know that? I also don't think you've told me yet why you said that my episode of Bloke in a Bar was the most disliked of all time when it wasn't. Anyway. Greg Marshy even sung in a Fletcher and Heine episode. There we go. That's pretty cool. Okay. So, 20 minutes left in this one. On the second, Molo carrying the ball up over the halfway line. However, I think everyone knows you aren't being serious about anything egregious. No, of course. But I just thought it was sort of funny that even something as utterly ridiculous as calling for an Australian citizen to be deported. They were like, hey, you're calling for someone to lose their livelihood.
C_Phantom just redeemed changed the background color.
If I
blue
must.
Because the Japanese national football team wears blue, and I think it's funny they forced the Netherlands to draw. Lol. Lamau even.
Lamau even. Yeah, that was a bit of a shame. But as I said, I really thought I'd follow the World Cup a lot more than I have this year. I don't know. I think maybe the fact that the NRL's in full swing, I'm really, really locked into the content things that I'm working on at the moment. And also just the fact that the Rugby League World Cup is on later this year. I don't know. Excuse me. Yeah, Kenzie, if you could DM me on Instagram, that would be cool. I'd like to see that. Are the Netherlands in the World Cup? The Soccer World Cup, yeah. Not the Rugby League World Cup, no. Alrighty. Terrell May up to nearly the 40 there. So they put it up in the air there on the last. 18 minutes left in this one. Isaka with a solid catch there. And the Dolphins just winning the field position battle here at the moment. Starting this set near the 40. Out in the corner though, but anyway. Would you rather sing the Paraguayan national anthem in Istanbul City Centre or sing the Brazilian national anthem in Port-au-Prince City Centre after Brazil knocked Haiti out? Definitely the second one. I think Haiti had much lower expectations. Also, I don't know if you've ever seen like comment sections of European soccer posts, but the Turkish are just everywhere. I ain't messing with that. I ain't messing with that at all. Well, there we go, Sir George Dragons fan. That's cool. I still don't think you've answered the question, though, as to why you told me that my episodes are Bloke in a Bar with the most disliked of all time, though. I ain't letting that go. I ain't letting it go. Started to find Nicarima knocked down by Suni Taruva. The Tigers have a full set to defend here on their line. Should FIFA treat Iran like how tennis treated Russian athletes? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. It's a bit of a different thing. And I will explain why when the Dolphins aren't about to maybe score a try here. On the second. To the right-hand side now. Schneider underneath. Finding Kilikefi Fuyaki, or maybe high contact there. He came back at a bit of a weird angle. Donahue to find Fuller. Bostock gets a great offload away, and it's been knocked on by Isako. Jeez, he had the try line begging for him there. Bostock did a great job with ball in hand, but they can't come away with one there. Yeah, the difference I would say, so Russia declared war on Ukraine as a means of gaining territory and expanding empire. I think we know that there's not really been any substantial cause for it. Iran were declared war on, despite what the actions of their own government domestically. Every bit of American intelligence has shown that despite their justification of, oh, we can't let Iran have a nuclear weapon, there was never any credible intelligence that said that they were going to make a nuclear weapon. Wasn't out there. So I don't think you should punish the football players as a result of that. Nickname says, I'm skeptical after last night's performance, but do you rate the Knights doing well in the finals if they get there? I think they could go week 2, maybe even sneak a cheeky prelim. I don't see them as a grand final side. Probably. They could well do it. But a game like yesterday, you gotta understand that being a good team means winning even when you don't play that well. And I think the Dragons did play very well yesterday. And Knights were very solid. But you got the win. You got the win. And I think that it would have been easy to maybe lose that game and then drop your head after you lost to Melbourne the other week as well in a tight one. So I would take quite a bit out of yesterday's win. Trust, it was your episode before the Pacific Chance featuring Hammy. So you've gone through and looked at all the Bloke at a Bar episodes, which is a 5-year-long podcast, and determined that that episode, that single episode, was the most disliked of all time. How have you done that? Thoughts on Bobcat is called to arm 14-year-olds with rifles? That's news to me. What? Red Fury, I'm really glad that you you like how many votes the poll's getting. I like that you always care about it more than I do. Thoughts on Roosters coming 8th? Obviously, it's a live ladder. I think we're going to beat the Sharks. I'm quietly confident about that. But no, a couple of tough losses during the Origin period, that's for sure. Honestly, though, of the losses that we've had, the only one that I've been like really, really disappointed with was the Cowboys at Magic Round. Thoughts on Elmo going for the USA? He is American, isn't he? Sesame Street's American, to my memory, to my knowledge. I googled what is the most disliked Bloke in a Bar episode, and the one with you came up. My brother in Christ. That's not how Googling works. So what the Google AI was like, yes, It's this one. It does, like, this is maybe the most egregious example of it, but it scares me how much faith people have in AI to give the correct information. It ain't that. It's a text predictor. But anyway, Sharks beat Warriors without their good players, Leaguie. I'm across that. I'm aware of it as a fact, and the Sharks were great against the Warriors and have a very good chance of beating us. And really, our last game that we had after an Origin, we looked really flat against Melbourne. But I just think we're gonna do it. I just think we're gonna do it. Thoughts on the American fan holding up a Vegemite free zone sign? I did not know that happened. However, doesn't make it true. I'll eat Vegemite wherever I want, and I want to eat Vegemite everywhere, absolutely everywhere. Community feels good in here. We do have a very good community. Don't know why, really, but we do have a very good community. Alrighty. So on the third here, Dolphins with a chance to restate their lead of 8 points. Schneider finds Trey Fuller. A bit of a gap there. Fuller, that's too easy. That's too easy. And at a moment like this, with only 12 minutes left, defense like that can lose you a game. And for the Tigers, with a try scored there close to the 6, that might well be the straw that broke the Tigers back. That's too easy. Look, I know Fuller's an elusive player. I know he's a little bit tricky to tackle, but some poor efforts there defensively, and he got over way too easily. Excuse me. We have a good community until someone mentions a nation on the eastern side of the Mediterranean Sea. I know. We are very, very controversial about Jordan, unfortunately. That is what it is. Good Sport Leaguey. You can't even see the dislikes on Spotify. It was a really good episode. In brackets, it was a prank. Sick. Great. All right. The Fiends are such a likable club. They are. And I think that there's a reason for it. Like, they haven't been really around long enough to do things that make people dislike them. Like, I'd say probably the Titans are there as well. Although the Titans have been around a lot longer, they just have not really done anything of consequence. But with time, I think we'll get a bit more hostility in the rivalry between the Broncos and the Fins. And probably a little bit more, like, games and events that make people have reasons to dislike them. But anyway. Would you rather have Trey Parlato or Trey Fuller in your stream? I don't know who Trey Parlato is. Goal there. Easy as you like. The text is still flashing up weirdly. That's weird. I've tried to fix that in the past because it said try there for about a frame. Anyway. Leaguey, if Trisha says something to me, what should I do? Something diabolical but safe for work? No, I am not going to encourage you to do anything bad to this poor girl. What? Why would I? Be nice to her. Be nice to people. She might actually start liking you back if you actually treat her like a human being. I don't get it, dude. I really don't. All right. Well, they've recovered the ball there. The Tigers off the short dropout. A quick try would be exactly what the doctor ordered here. On to find Seyfarth. It takes it up to about the 30. They don't need to score on this set, but it would boost their confidence massively. Massively. Again, Red Fury, I'm not going to advise you about betting. I did say that before, so yeah. All right, on there from Leaguie. The Titans do have that whole player culture thing for the late 2010s that people didn't particularly like. I've forgotten that. Can you remind me what that was all about? What's your opinions on the Monkeys? I only know I'm a believer, but I have heard that I would like them if I got more into them. This is the last here. Leaguie's short side just goes through the hands. I don't know if that's the play, but no, it's Toa knocked on. Sukar got over. We're going to review this. I mean, they might have scored. No one's really claiming it. It's going to go up as a no try. Any suggestions for me? So I'm going to say this for the third and final time, Red Fury, because you do keep asking the same questions. I am not going to give you betting advice. If you keep asking, I will unfortunately just ignore the messages, but I'm not going to be responsible for your bets or your financial losses. So, yes. If there were trades in the NRL, what Roosters trade would you make? I would... Stafford Toa does knock on this, so it's going to be a no try. I would try to get Payne Haas to the club. I feel we need backup for Nafahu White and Lindsay Collins. In return, offering one absolutely like prime, high grade, high quality, a universally adored player, Junior Ponga. I think that's one that the Broncos would take. I have not seen that, George. No. Something to think about. Moses is 33 next year. Would he weigh up winning a premiership and is para realistically a viable option? Worst case, could he look elsewhere? How long is he locked up for at Parramatta? I think he'll just see it out there, to be honest. But then I would have said the same about DCE this time last year. So the Leaguie says gamble responsibly. I kind of say don't gamble, but I don't mind people gambling. It is what it is. They're going to score here. Surely they're going to score here. That's game. That's game. The Finns take a win out there at Campbelltown. Damn. 28 points to 16. Kick to come. This game blew out towards the end. With some poor defense from the Tigers. Both to let Fuller through, but then also that try there, that line break. Calling Haas back up for Nafahu White and Collins would result in you being his last choice. Sure, but I think he needs to know his place, though, at the end of the day. So, I would want it to come under realistic pretenses. That's the key thing. Locked up till 2029, so yeah, if he's 33 next year, he ain't going anywhere. He wouldn't be able to sign with a different club until 2028. I don't think Para are a realistic option, but I think you'll see it out there. Bro, Junior had one bad game. Stop hating on the bloke who's played some great footy for us. Okay, I want to make something very clear. What I just said is not hating on the bloke. Not hating on the bloke at all. All I said is that I'd offer him in exchange for Payne Haas. That's not hating. I have been a public defender of Junior Ponga for a very long time. I really like Junior Ponga. I think he's one of the best fill-in outside backs in the league. He has admittedly had more than one bad game for us this season. But yeah, saying I'd trade it for Payne Haas is not hating. Would you not trade it for Payne Haas? All right. Isako kicks that goal easy as you like. 28 becomes 30. Would you spend 30 minutes trying to convince Benjamin Netanyahu that Palestine is a country for a Roosters premiership? I would spend 30 minutes trying to convince Benjamin Netanyahu is a country just for the love of the game. I think that'd be an interesting conversation. For a Roosters premiership? Absolutely. He could pull a Lachlan Galvin and claim bullying by Talon De Silva. Moses. I don't know if Moses is the one bullying... Sorry, I don't know if De Silva's the one bullying Moses. I don't know if that's the way that dynamic has played out. Nickname says, quote, it's their year next year. Every Eels fan since 1987. That is kind of what they believe. They are going to be better next year than this year, but I don't think they're going to be a premiership force. I think they're a ways away from that. A ways away from that. All right. They're 14 points shy of the Tigers. Attacking again here on the third. Buller. Nice little bit of individual brilliance from him, but really, the thoughts of a comeback went away when they conceded that last try. So I want to find Terrell May here. Luai. Hey, Leaguie, someone just redeemed a thing. I had to find Coruscant.
Lorenzo Theraborn just redeemed Pepsi Max Sip.
I'll do it. By the way, Lorenzo, I just want to say, I saw that at the start of the stream, you unfollowed and refollowed on Twitch. You've used your one, so you can't do it for the rest of the stream. Hope you know that. Just want to be clear. Luai to Mason on the last. Now it's fine stuff for Toa. Gets an offload back. They're just trying anything they possibly can here, the Tigers. Terrell May, what an absolutely brilliant pass. Offload back in field. No, it hasn't worked out for them. And Isako now One-on-one with Alex Seyfarth. Can't get away from the lock forward. Jeez, Terrell May. I remember seeing him do one of those for the Roosters. It was a game up at Suncorp Stadium. My days. Show the game. I need to say this every stream, or I unironically have to watch AFL. I know. When it's you specifically. It's funny, I'll read the message. Well, thank you, French, for following. When I read the message, I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. And then I see that it's you, and I'm like, oh, no, never mind, it's fine. Jack says, look, as a Rooster, I'm that desperate for a comp, I'd spend 30 minutes listening to Benjamin. That Palestine isn't a country. I'd call them Palantine. I don't know what that was about, but no, Palestine. I mean, I'd sit through pretty much any conversation for 30 minutes for a Roosters premiership. Yeah, I don't know if that was the finest moment there from Mr. Ziggy Stardust, but anyway. Shout out Ziggy Stardust. I should call him Stardust. I'm going to refer to this referee as Stardust from now on. And those who get it will get it. Really, those who don't get it should get it, so it's not my responsibility. Only 21 likes. Everyone liked the video, or Leaguie will switch to AFL between the games. Well, the likes don't really matter because we are about to switch to the next stream, and then the likes are gone anyway, so... Can't see anything through his glasses. That is good. I'm not wearing the glasses so you guys can see the game through the glasses. All right, on the fourth here. 4.5 minutes left in this game. Save far. They have to find Jerome Luai. Now Mason. Parramatta Eels will win the premiership in 2035. Okay, bro. Okay, bro. On the last, Seyfarth has caught it and he scored. He scored just the most random ass try you could possibly imagine. But the Tigers are in.
We are the Tigers in my white and gold, stout-hearted men, all fit and bold.
Do you have pink eye? No, not specifically, because it's only one eye. But I do just sometimes, I don't know, it happens once every couple months. I will wake up one day and my eyes will just be outrageously red. I don't know why, but I've changed on my bed sheets. It just kind of happens. Are you comparing Ziggy to the GOAT Cody Rhodes? I don't know who Cody Rhodes is, so no. What in the... Alex Sri Lanka? That's got to be his name now. He is Sri Lankan eligible. As a Raiders fan, I would sit through 2 hours of BB trying to convince me genocide in Gaza is justified without reacting, and this is coming from me. Bro, I'd sit through 24 hours of that conversation if it meant a premiership. Easy. I'd sit through a week of it. Easy. Well, Parramatta cross the next 53-year drought and take their place as the sport's longest drought. Surely it's not sport's longest drought. In fact, it's not even Australian sport's longest drought. I know St Kilda in the AFL haven't won since, I think, 66. So, Dragons will have a fantastic forward pack in a few years' time. If they can hold on to all of them, without question they will. That's what they're building their projects around, which is why I've said so many times about the Dragons this year. What they do this year doesn't matter. Winning games this year doesn't matter. I understand how it feels like it can matter in the moment. But this year, the rest of this year should be about setting up for next year. And next year, you're going to want to be in a better position. You're not really going to care whether you won games the year before, whether you played guys who are maybe more experienced and slightly better over guys who have more promise about them. You want to have played the guys with more promise, so... Now, Chicago Cubs was like 100 years or something. Well, there you go, yeah. North City Bears last win was 1922. Does the drought... I mean, I don't think that counts. I don't think that counts. I was going to say, does the drought continue with the Perth Bears? I think the clock is paused and maybe continues. I don't think it has been playing this entire time. Cody Rhodes' alter ego is Stardust, WWE. Well, not the Stardust I was referring to. I was referring to Ziggy Stardust. I would be surprised if the majority of people didn't know who Ziggy Stardust is. Are Para the NRL's New York Knicks? I suppose, if you want the closest comparison. Probably. Sure. I don't think that we really can equate them like that, though. Alright, Schneider's in the dummy half here. Shout out Schneider, man. On to find Kilikefu Fine Fuiaki. Leaguie, do you know what Allahu Akbar means? Isn't it like glory to God? I think it's up to them, but it's the longest drought in Oz Premiership history. But yeah, I mean, I'm not an authority. I guess it's a matter of opinion. But I think once you're not playing first grade anymore, then that's the clock has paused. Oh wait, no, but sorry, you're saying that the clock, like they've already, even if the clock's paused, they've already got the longest drought. Dolphins score, by the way. Woo! They lead by 12. 2 minutes to go. It's really blown out, the scoreline at the end here. Tigers obviously got that consolation through Alex Sri-Lankfarth, but what play from Bostock. Yeah, sorry, I realize now what you mean. So even if the clock had paused, because they didn't go out to the competition all that long ago. It's been, what, 30-odd years? So it would then still be the longest. Not really. I don't know what that means. I would have said Cronulla were more comparable to Knicks, just always a gritty team without anything to show for it. Well, I don't really watch NBA, so I'm just purely going off, like, big fan base and hasn't won in a long time. What is your religion? Catholic. Although, there's very different interpretations of Catholicism. And really, what I have a set of beliefs. That's my starting point. And it most closely aligns with Catholicism when it comes to major religions. But, like, I don't believe everything in Catholicism. I've always said that. Leaguie, will you see the new Schneiderman movie? Almost certainly. Almost certainly, yes. In fact, well, definitely. I will at some point, yeah. When's it coming out? Roosters should make a play for Israel Folau. You want to get controversial? You want to have an Israel Folau conversation? My opinion on this really changed yesterday. Almost a complete 180. I don't know if I've 180'd on it, but I was very much, back in the day, I held the opinion that you would all probably expect that I held, of like, someone who has expressed beliefs like that shouldn't be playing our game. It's a really bad PR look. I don't necessarily believe in tolerance of intolerant people. You know what I mean? So I was quite comfortable with the decision not to let him back into the NRL. However, I was then like, what are we seeing? We're seeing a cameraman. Oh, one of the cameramen, as I'm going to assume, died. That's very nice of Jake Jute to give him a shout out here. Oh. Jeez, what a great initiative there by Fox. Anyway, sorry. My opinions on it. We have a competition where we let Ezra Mann, Matt Lodge play, who did absolutely awful, like, things that cause tangible harm, but we let them play. So, while I don't really know, like, while I probably feel that maybe someone who's expressed the views that Folau has, it's not a good business move to make him, to allow him to play, I can't square the fact that we say, no, because you have these views, you can't play, but even someone who did these actions that caused, like, more harm, we let them play. That doesn't really work in my mind. You know what I mean? Are you streaming the next game? I am, yes. Just, if you stay put in the chat, this stream will automatically guide you to the stream of the next game. So, don't touch that dial, as they tend to say. What's wrong with cameraman? One of their colleagues, who was a cameraman, lost his battle with cancer this week. Did League Swear says, I agree those guys also shouldn't be playing. Oh, and earlier said, NRL's a business, they won't let him in because he broke his previous contract and proceeded to try and sue that employer. What? That's a whole other aspect to it. But yeah, I just, on a moral standpoint, I found it hard to square that circle. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's game over. I don't know why the NRL match clock is 2 minutes behind, but it is. It's only just hitting the 78th minute, but whatever. It's fine. 36 points to 22 is your final scoreline for this one. It was a very entertaining game of rugby league football. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Tigers, that's another one that got away for them, and they're going to find themselves at the back end of this season, I think, looking at games like this, thinking, we should have got it done. We should have got it done. You know, Campbelltown, lots to play for. A game that was very winnable for them. No Isaiah Katoa. Dolphins, they just keep on keeping on, and their run of form has continued brilliantly. All right, we're going to get into the stream of the next game. If you're on Twitch, you don't need to do anything. Well, actually, no one needs to do anything. On Twitch, you're not going to notice anything. YouTube, the stream will end, but automatically your browser will refresh, and you'll be onto the stream of the next game, which is Panthers versus Titans. I will see you guys in just a sec. All right. I always make the same joke here.